Hello everyone, welcome to Feldy once more, this masterpiece of a map by Farmer Yip. Well, I think it's high time that we tried some logging in here, and of course logging is sort of a relative term. We are cutting no trees. The trees have been cut for us, and I just made it to the far side of the map. We're kind of on the, let's see, northwest corner of it. Actually in an area that Farmer Yip didn't develop. This was something I added on my own. It was just an idea that I had way back in the day when I was actually playing the map with my kids. And it's just something I filed away that's like, that'd be fun to try to mod, you know, to have some logs out here to pick up and haul somewhere to a barge to haul away. And now that we have it, let's try to haul them. So, load the logs. Let me just put a couple of them in here. They're just coming in bit by bit. I don't know how big my trigger is. I don't even know how many I can haul. And it is brutally bumpy getting back here, as you may recall. So I'm not even sure I can get them out of here. So this is going to be an interesting exercise. Is that hanging on by a thread? Yes, it is. Oh, like I say, this is going to be really, really interesting. Got one more down there. I'm kind of sitting on an angle here, so it's going to be a little tough to... Yeah, and there's nothing that is holding these logs in the trailer. So I have a feeling this is going to be an interesting trip down the mountain. Let me get up in here. Let me just try to take a full load as much as I can. Alright, let's try it there. I do, maybe I've described in another video. Ooh, you know, it's not gonna... it doesn't like that. It's loading at a certain point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 logs. You know, I don't think I'm going to push my luck. I'm going to try to take just those, and like I say, I'll be lucky if they stay on the trailer. Now the logs in here, oh shoot, and I'm already starting off wrong, heading down over the hill. That is not smart. There, I lost one. It's going to head down to the ocean. Try a little bit faster. Oh, that's just too much. Over this road, I think I just need to be patient, try to make my way down. The physics, as we all know in these games, is wonky enough, even in the most recent versions, let alone back in Farm Sim 11. Although I gotta say, these particular logs seem a mite more stable than the ones that I've used in Farm Sim 13 with the forest mod, but it could be just my imagination too. And even as I look at some of the things I gotta do here and going slowly, painfully slow over these bumps just to get them out of the woods, I don't know that my computer can even handle driving back here, so I kind of think this is going to be the only load I'm going to haul from this area. This isn't even something I can put on course play. Well, I could, but I have a feeling by the time I got to the other end I wouldn't have a single log still in the trailer. So I'm just going to have to slowly nurse this along. Let me try it at another speed again, and it's just so bumpy. I do have some invisible collisions on the trailer because there's nothing in here holding these down. In Farm Sim 13 with the forest mod, there is a script that affixes the logs to the trailer, locks them in place, so you can go flying off of a mountain cliff and the logs will adhere to the trailer. Not so in here, so I have to be doubly careful, but I do have some invisible collisions on the back of this trailer that will hopefully hold the logs in place. I don't know that I have any on the front, however. So anyway, these logs, as you may recall, there's another hairpin corner as I climb the mountain. I think we're smooth here, maybe. It's going to be bumpy over along that edge, though. These particular logs were put in here through the Giant's editor, so they're inherent to the map. So even if I come down here and we get the logs in the barge, I think I'm going to put these straight in the barge if it happens to be sitting there, which then it's going to take time getting to the far side of the map, to sell. But even if I do all that and the logs sell and disappear, go away, the logs will automatically replenish when we load the map back up again. So kind of to simulate logging in the forest, someone is preparing these, cutting them to length, and we are simply performing the service of hauling them out of the woods. Now, there was, in Farm Sim 09, someone came up with a very clever mod with a chainsaw. You talk about the earliest versions of the game with timber being in there, and maybe they even did it for Farm Sim 08, I don't know. I actually have the Farm Sim 09 chainsaw in my mods that I have on my computer. I haven't played Farm Sim 09 in quite a while, but it's a pretty clever mod. I gotta be careful in here. It's very bumpy getting through here. Please don't dump my logs, even at the lowest speed. Although I can always reload them as long as they don't go down over the hill. Yeah, better just keep it slow coming down over the hill. See, by the time I get to the end of the half hour, for all I know, I'll be just getting down there with my trailer of logs, and all you will have seen is just me driving them out of the woods. But you know what? The roads that I'm on here, it's pretty realistic, I guess I would say. Although I don't know how it is for Scotland. I think this is intended to be a Scottish map. But I know around here, if you're going to haul timber, you're on some pretty sketchy roads up in the mountains, and they got these huge logging trucks that navigate these things, and patiently haul the logs down out of the forest until you're on the main highway to haul them to the mill. So it can be pretty ticklish up there too. I think this is pretty smooth. I just gotta be careful not to drive off the road. So far, so good, but as everyone knows, it only takes a slight bump and I can envision these logs flying around like little tinker toys and upsetting everything we're trying to do here. So I think this is pretty smooth in here, so I'm kind of rolling the dice. You carry these objects and you get on a hill that's a little slanted. Oh, now I can't even see where I'm going. Yeah, I think if I was on horseplay, it would put you on full speed. I'm just on speed of 2. I think I'm going to slow down, decelerate to speed of 1. There's just no guardrail here, and all it would take is a bump, and they are plenteous in this area. And every last one of these logs is over the side and unreachable. Yeah, I've never been down to the lower part of the map, and I don't have a boat mod, don't know if any exist in Farm Sim 11. That is something that I've toyed with in terms of another mod to make, to see if it can be done. It's the interaction with the water table is kind of an interesting thing. For most mods, it kills the mod, if you will. Be careful, hang on to them logs. And maybe what I need to do is just write a script to hold them put on the trailer, especially if I want to use courseplay to kind of navigate down through here. But I don't know. I may not end up doing much timber. It's kind of like I say, it was an idea, and I got it to work. And a lot of times, it's the modding itself that is the journey to see if you can cobble something together, get it working, and sometimes it isn't even so much the end result, using what you made. Which reminds me, there's a lot of people in the farming sim world where that's exactly how it is. They don't even play the game. Their part of it is to just simply make mods. That's where they get their enjoyment. My problem is I get enjoyment from all of it, you know, whether talking about it on YouTube or talking about it on Discord amongst friends, or modding aspect, or simply playing the game itself. Alright, we've made it out to the blacktop. I'm pleased there's no cars at the moment. And by the way, in a previous episode, I know I was showing how we got the traffic moving. Even after all that work of getting it moving, I am strongly contemplating turning it off. Basically, all I need to do is open the map and remove the script from the traffic just to turn it off. I don't know if there's another way to do it. I'm sure there is. I could write a script for it. It is just, I had a tractor going to pick up some kelp to take it to the fertilizer plant, or the kelp converter, if you will, and it tangled with a couple cars, and it blamed me or drove off into the sea. And you know, it never had that trouble. I know that courseplay can be pretty wonky, you know, in this earlier version, Farm Sim 11. It was refined later, but it was working. Whoa, I'm tipping my trailer there a little bit. I gotta be careful going around these curves. So in order to work, it kind of needs, to have a free course, you know, where it's going. So if it has cars in the way, it's going to knock it off course, and all it has to do is hit one of those cars the wrong way, and pretty soon your tractor's in the drink. And what I want to avoid badly is, you know, being in a situation where, I gotta be careful how I do this. I don't want to be in a situation where I have to then do a reset just to retrieve my tractor. So, go over here, unload side left. Yeah, 9 logs in the trailer. I don't think so. It's gonna probably pitch them. Let me just try here. Yeah, I gotta fix something in the script. But you know what? They landed, and I think they're in the bunker. Woohoo! Okay, so we don't have a boat down here just yet. Maybe as we get turned around here, we'll see if one is close or on its way. Maybe what I should do is put a hotspot on these boats. Yeah, the barge is kind of way over there. Coming. Maybe I got enough time. I'll see. Go pick up another load. Trying to keep an eye on the time here. Because here's, you know, as I was describing earlier, these logs are inherent to the map. They were put in there with the Giants editor. Whereas, it isn't the same as a bale. You know, you could place a bale with the Giants editor, and it too would, I think it would still handle itself as a bale, meaning you could pick it up, move it, it would be a dynamic object. But the problem is every time the map loaded, the bale would appear in the same spot, even though you moved it previously. Whereas if a bale is made in the game, you know, by the baler or what have you, well, then that bale becomes part of a different save table, if you will, and the game will remember where the bale is. And so if I could have done that with these logs, but I opted just to leave them in the map and handle it in GE, because that way you never run out of logs. You know, and here I was saying a little bit ago, I'm probably not going to do that much logging. You know, I just don't think I will. At least wanted to do some before wrapping up the series or whatever, try to get to all the things in the map. But if there ever was a time when someone played this and wanted to do a bunch of log hauling rather, they could, and they would replenish with every new load of the game. Alright, I know I came up here at one point just to show people what I had done, you know, in creating a log yard up here. This is the other one. It's a little easier to get to. It's not quite as far. I think it's a little smoother getting up in here, but I mean, it still has plenty of bumps. So we get up here, and there should be a huge old stack of logs. And here they are. Actually, you know, the distance. Alright, so let me see if I can do this. Let me just start. Wait, is my trigger? I must not be. Oh, okay, I got. How do I get turned around? You know, this is going to be interesting. Oh, look at that. The clip distance on these isn't the best. You know, they disappear unless you're basically right on top of them. Maybe it's for the best. I mean, probably for the performance aspect. Yeah, see, those are already disappearing. That's kind of, I probably should fix that so that you can see them from a little further away. Alright, I'm kind of driving through trees here, but our loggers have put the trees. Oh, it's loading them. Better be careful with that. Try to sneak that one back. Shoot, I kind of have. Okay. You know what? I'm probably not going to pick up all of these here, triggers, or logs. So let me unload them. It's going to zip them out there, and we'll try to load again. I need to be stopped while I'm loading. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it puts. That's 5. Now I wonder if I need to kind of go forward a little bit. Maybe if I pick up these 2, I can kind of finish filling my trailer. So maybe they'll be a little bit off center facing me another way. Oh, that's going. Oh, blimey. Okay, it kind of tipped these over the wrong way. It's gonna fall off. No, no, no. There, it tips back this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Did I haul 7 last time? I thought I had 7 on there, but maybe I didn't. You know, I guess I'm seeing here that oops. Did it grab another one? By George, it did. Okay, well, it shifted it a little bit. Maybe I can pull one more. It definitely has 7 on there. Look at that. Okay, I think I don't want to push my luck any further. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I wonder if the barge has come in yet. Maybe it's still making its circuit. I can't really see it down there. Alright, so this is a somewhat larger load than I hauled last time. We'll try to make my way out of the timber camp here. I don't think it's I'm gonna have to be really careful, kind of use my speed buttons. You know, these logs look like they will easily shift off of my trailer here. So I'm gonna have to be a little judicious in how I navigate downhill here. Hope it doesn't come apart. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to hold on to these, especially if I try to speed up just a little bit. But anyway, at least we can say we have been up to the timber camp. Yeah, see, that one's... That's already kind of gone out of reach of my trigger. Hit the wrong button. Nothing to see here. Surely I'm not driving over the crop. No, no, no. Ouch. Okay, stop. Yeah, see, when I get in a problem like this. This is, let's see, am I on? Load logs. You see, this is gonna... Okay, there we go. Phew. You know, it's interesting as you look at the help menu here. It does have an option to lock the load, but I don't think you can lock the load. That part of the script doesn't work. But it is an FS11 script, so probably with a little effort, maybe I could reinstall the locking feature and get it to work. It's a little, I don't know, it uses some Lua code that I'm not that familiar with in terms of how, you know, it constructs something to hold all those logs in place. I guess it could do with bales. I mean, this script with this trailer, this auto loading, is a script that was designed primarily for bales, and we sort of modified it so that it handles logs. Alright, let me see if I can walk down the slope here. I gotta, this pesky traffic now. I do have one in back of me. Let me see if I can get out to the blacktop and see if I can keep from cracking up as I go down over this hill. I know the cars behind me will slow down. I probably can do this now. Yeah, okay, car, you stop. They do have sensors on the front of them, I've learned. You know, where they detect traffic. Kind of like the other in-game vehicles do, so that when they're hired, they can detect hard objects, fences, trees, that sort of thing. You know, I'll be lucky to get this down here and on that silly trailer. And see, then the thing that's got to happen is, once I get these logs on the barge, I have to wait a substantial amount of time until the barges transport them clear to the other side of the map. Now, I'm the idiot that put the cell trigger clear on the other side of the map. I guess I just figured it made a nice little delay in there that would be somewhat realistic before you get your money for selling logs. You had to wait a little while and had to wait for the transportation to happen and those kinds of things. On the other hand, if all we're merely doing is transporting the logs from point A to point B and they really aren't our logs in the first place, well, maybe we shouldn't even be collecting any money for selling things. Well, I'm pleased we're managing to make it down here. Well, hopefully I don't jinx myself in saying that. A load hauled from each of the timber camps that we placed on the map. This one log is trying its darndest to get out the back of the trailer, but I think we'll manage to hang on so we can get up here to load them in a barge. Oh, blimey. Yeah, now here's the problem. Hang on, come on. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna have to offload these and then come back and get that one. You know what? I guess I did jinx myself, didn't I? I thought we were gonna make it the whole way. And I'm pleased we definitely hauled a bigger load with this one than we did out of the other camp. Oh, and the barge just left. No, no, no. Ah. Well, that's the way it goes. Alright, let me stick them over there. Yes, put them up on the roof. Just what I'm... Okay, now this one here. Why is it poking? I can't unload it. Probably doesn't know it's there. I probably need to drive like a bandit. Here we... Oh, it's loading. I just can't stop quick enough to get that slide back in. So, anyway, I'll try to come over here, grab the other log, and get turned around and at least get it in there. So, you know what I could do? Well, I'd hate to just speed up time unnecessarily. Oh, there we go. The other one's loaded, locked, and loaded. turned around here. It's much easier hauling too, especially at this angle. See, what they're resting on, we can't see. It's that invisible collision that I put in there just to kind of hold the logs on the trailer, keep them from sliding off the back. And you know, that is another change I made to the barges, by the way, speaking of speeding up. You know, it used to be... Oh no, what's that one doing? Is that silly thing hanging up in the air? Look at that. That is classic farming simulator physics for you. Alright, let me put these over here. Okay, now we have a fair number of logs waiting to be delivered. I suppose I could head up the hill. You know, I don't see another one coming. The thing of it is I'm running out of time, and I got another 5-6 minutes for this particular episode. So maybe what I'll do is, here's an episode of hauling them down here. I can go do a little bit more, and maybe I'll just start hanging into the next episode right away. Let me see what else there is to do. I know, yes, I put some of this, some biofuel in here to make a little more fertilizer. I ran out of kelp fertilizer in here, and I forgot that when you run out of kelp, it closes a gate. You know, Farmer Yip warned us in the manual. There was a mission to open a gate clear up by the quarry, where you can mine or make silica from rock. And sure enough, it closed the gate. I noticed as I was heading over to, oh, blimey, I gotta make sure I don't run myself out of biofuel, speaking of. Because I think it's the biofuel that keeps the sheep area. Oh, we got plenty of biofuel. Look at that. So actually, I'm going to get this going to haul some biofuel up to the crusher. Yeah, I think that's where I want it to go. I'm going to send it on up. Don't think we will see it reach up the air in this particular episode. But we'll get it there. Hold on. Alright, crisis averted. This is one thing about this particular version of, this is, I knock it out of the way too. This particular version of course play is it doesn't really detect objects in front. I think that part is turned off. I could be mistaken, but I don't think it's designed to detect it, so it will run into things. You know, I think our field of red clover over there is now grown up again, so we would have something to put in here. We have several cattle, and that's something else we can check here real quick before closing it out, which is to see, you know, we're starting to get quite a bit of manure, liquid manure, and we still have a ton of grass in the feeding trough. So we don't need to go cut any grass at the moment. And as we could see on our trip out of the woods, our crops are still growing, so I'm tempted just to continue. Yeah, see up here the crops are still growing. Isn't quite full grown. We could, by all rights, start harvesting down on the lower level, but we'll maybe take a pass on that for the moment. Although, maybe what I could do, well, if I get that going, the trouble is I gotta man it. I need to re-record a couple passes or a couple courses in there. He's kind of sitting there whistling Dixie. The corn combine is getting ready. Let's take him out. I think we need to come up here, get his header. We're going to be harvesting a bunch of corn in here because, as you'll recall, We have a whole bunch of, let me see, is this a kelp converter? Let me go to biofuel. Yeah, we have a whole bunch of canola, and what we really need is a whole bunch of corn so that we can get rid of the canola that's in there. And I don't know that we really have to, but I mean, there's always a need for biofuel. We're going to need it to create some fertilizer the other way. So let me just fold this up here. I'll head down over the hill, get this all set up and ready for harvest, which is to come. So probably by next episode, we'll maybe get going on that. I'd really like to use some of these fields here for silage. You know, we have the BGA over there. I'd like to use that. Yeah, there's the barge kind of coming around the mountain. If I had a hotspot, I could see where the barges are on the map, so just can't do that with the way it's set up, even if we do have an up-to-date PDA map. As you can see, we planted a lot of corn in here, so yeah, there's going to be a lot of work to do corn-wise. More so, last time we didn't hardly plant any corn at all, so we are going to be in the thick of corn harvest here, starting the next episode. Let me see, we'll go here, let's haul him down here. And I think while I'm hauling it down here, I'll just terminate the episode, and thank you so much for coming along. It was fun for me to do a little bit of hauling logs. I had to be way more careful than I thought I did, but boy, I'm sure glad I have the auto loader to help me handle those logs, because it would be painful with Farm Sim 11 physics being what they are to load those in there myself. I think I'm going to leave the episode or leave the game up, because if I close the game now, I'm going to run into trouble trying to get those logs, because the game, like I was explaining earlier, isn't going to save the position of those logs. It'll send them back up to the woods. So to avoid that, to actually sell, I need to remain in here. Thank you so much for coming along to see Feldy once more. I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.